Hey everyone, it's Aisha Love, founder of Multidimensional You. Take a moment and drop into your heart center out of your head. Here we go. In this installment of the Integrating the Healer Within series, I was guided very specifically to this spring. You can probably see it coming down here. In this very, for those of you Star Wars fans, Ewok feeling forest, ferns and moss and just amazing ancient energy is very present here. And I just came off doing the kind of capstone, bookend, big regional field work 6 weeks after beginning it. 2 months ago when I arrived here. It's probably closer to 8 weeks actually now. So I know that all of that energy and that ripple that went out to help a whole bunch of beings and collectives across many different vertical dimensions come into a higher harmonic, those who opted into that. So that's, now I understand why I felt such pressure, urgency, insistence, clear inner directive to make this message and bring that energy through. And you can see how the light is changing to, all the fields are coming through this video. So this is your direct invitation to come home to yourself as source, the spring of eternal life of the fractal of source God, source love that you have always been, but very specifically, not so much your soul or your multidimensional complex, which kind of already remembers that. It's for the body. Now I know that the human ancestral body you're in does not think or feel, based on a lot of ancestral and historical programming, that it is source love or that it would be welcome home. But we're going to make that invitation anyway and to begin to speak directly to the body now. So body, this one's for you. Come into your heart center, body. We're going to allow your template, if you like, body, to amplify the wisdom of your heart and to allow the wisdom of your heart, which is your direct connection to yourself as source, to begin to override all of the local data bank memory belief patterning programs. There we go. Sorry to clear out. And your own source, love, self, is displacing from within, coming through the heart center. I find it fascinating. You can hardly see my face at this point, but you can definitely see this rose quartz, right? This is the heart portal. Everywhere I go, people respond to it because they can feel it. It's their own source self being reflected back to them, and it's magnetizing. So here we go. There we go. Let your body just keep displacing from your own source plasma flows from your own heart center body. And soul, spirit, you can champion the body, encourage it, but you can't do it for it. And you can't judge it into remembering either. There we go. There's a whole nother octave of shift for the human body, which has its own consciousness, remember, separate from the soul. There's a great deep shift of relief happening for many of your bodies that can feel that. And we're letting things come off the shoulders, the over-functioning or the under-functioning, the controlling or the self-sabotaging, all of that shifting, letting it all release. There we go. Body, you're so relieved because you're not having to live within the encapsulation of your stories. And you could just allow yourself to be the light you always were. So a little light language to welcome you home to yourself as source love, body. There we go. Beautiful. Everything went to 0 point stillness. So from this place of remembering yourself as source love, source light, there's nothing to do. There's only a lovely being lovingness and a loving presence, a loving coherence. Go ahead and place a hand on your high heart, and when it's over your tummy, just below your dantian, your navel, there's like a 2 inches below the navel right there, and hold the body now. This is where the soul, I'm going to ask the soul and the soul complex to come back in and hold the body now, because the body is scared and it's tired and it's still questioning this whole thing of being a fractal of source love. Go ahead and love it and nurture it and encourage it. There we go. All adults are just terrified, wounded children seeking love and approval outside of themselves. You don't have to seek it outside of yourself anymore, because you are it and you always have been. And you have so much support and so much love at this time. Humanity is not on the lowly end of the totem pole. All races of beings, all collectives, no matter how evolved they think they are going through this similar reclamation process at this time. And I'm being shown some of them are even just returning to the fields of light and then making themselves available at a completely different level for their little brothers and sisters, right? Who are up and coming and remembering who they always were but forgot. It's this great cycle. Beautiful. Yeah. Now, the body is infused itself of its own free will choice with more of its own source love, its own source light. This is what changing your light quotient will feel like. So humanity's been stuck in an IQ, intelligence quotient. It kind of evolved to an EQ, emotional quotient. Now we're allowing the LQ and the JQ, the joy quotient. Oh my gosh. And we can laugh for no external reason, because the joy is just bubbling and effervescing from within. Beautiful. So Helen Keller said, "Turn your face to the sun and you will never see a shadow." And that's a lovely thing to do, especially in this dark forest, to have the sun streaming down on my face, right? And I am the shadow worker. So it's also a beautiful, joyous thing to go deep into the darkest recesses of the forest to find what might be self-exiled there, having forgotten that it is of the light. And we are the entire multidimensional codex, like a tree, right? These beautiful trees in the canopy. So we're out in the bright sun and light, but we also have deep, deep roots into the dark, fertile soil. So now we're bridging that divide within our human structure and remembering ourselves as the entire codex and holding all of that in one, and not just living at the bottom of the well in despair, darkness, disconnection, dis-ease. Able to hold that state with equanimity and find a place in our own vibrational coordinates, in our own multidimensional complex and codex that feels more at peace and at one-ment, not atonement, at one-ment. See what they do here? Oh, the distortion in stories. We were never separate from ourselves as source. We are the entire codex. So now, body, with this in mind and with all the beautiful light you've just reclaimed of yourself as a source, love, source, God, fractal, where in your own multidimensional codex do you wish to reside? What floor of the apartment building, so to speak? You don't have to live in the basement anymore. There we go. So it might be the second or third floor. Might be a higher floor. Higher is not necessarily better. Watch the spiritual ego. What feels most safe to the body, not the spirit that says we should be on the 111th floor out of spiritual ego. What feels good and aligned and safe to the body? I'm feeling like for most bodies, it's second, third floor. Like just enough to get some perspective, but not like leaving everybody behind. Because the body fears not only being abandoned, but abandoning others. Because that's the projection of fearing abandonment. So we got to work with the body's pace. There we go. Oh, bodies feel so loved and respected in this moment. Slow the roll of trying to get higher, faster, better. That's all spiritual ego. It's all wounding. Soul has shadow too. I want to get it done. I want to alchemize it all. So I can get my gold star. Mission accomplished. There we go. Yeah. Oh, some souls feel called out. If you have shame bombs go off in the body or the soul, just work with that. That's what is wanting to be loved. That's what's been performing for love. That's what forgot it is love. And it doesn't have to do anything for love. Now it can just be love, and then everything's a play. A joyful creation and dance. So I'm going to playfully dance my way, skip, hop, hike my way through the rest of this forest trail before I move on with the rest of my day. As I move on with the rest of my day, I'm wishing you all so much love, so much joy, so much remembering yourself as all of that. Or not. Or not. Everything is valid here. There's no right or wrong. There's just a different quality of experience based on those choices. And just a massive, massive recognition from a whole bunch of higher councils to you directly now. Tons and tons of validation, recognition, and acknowledgement are coming your way. See if you can let the body receive it and let it land. There we go. So good at giving. How about now receiving? Beautiful. What a joy and privilege to bring this through for all of us today. It is June of 2026, and I am just south of Beckley, West Virginia, in Beaver State Park. I love you all so very much.